Hello and welcome to AppJ series. In a historic and unprecedented turn of events, Donald Trump became the first former US president to be convicted of felony crimes on May 30, 2024. A New York jury found him guilty of all 34 charges related to a scheme to influence the 2016 presidential election through a hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels, who claimed to have had a sexual encounter with Trump. Though the conviction of Donald Trump is a significant legal and political milestone, it has raised questions about the implication for Trump's future and the integrity of the American judicial system. Can the American justice system still be trusted? Has it gone political? Is this a witch hunt by Joe Biden to secure his seat? This video explores how Trump came to be the center of what he and his supporters describe as a witch hunt by the Democrats. Trump's conviction on 34 felony counts was the first of its kind in American history. In fact, it was reported that this was 11 times more felonies than that of popular crime boss Al Capone. The charges come from accusations that Trump falsified business records to cover up a $130,000 payment made by his former lawyer Michael Cohen to Stormy Daniels, an adult actress. This payment was allegedly intended to silence Daniels during the final weeks of the 2016 election campaign. The prosecution argued that this was part of an effort to interfere with the election. Sitting stone-faced and politically determined as the verdict was read, Trump faced the grim reality of his legal troubles. Outside the courthouse, cheers from the public could be heard as judgment was passed. For Trump, the conviction represented an opportunity by his enemies to strike him where he least expected. It was not only a personal and legal setback, but also a critical juncture in his political career as he seeks to regain the presidency in the upcoming 2024 election. Following the verdict, as expected, Donald Trump vehemently denied any wrongdoing, labeling the trial as rigged and disgraceful. He criticized the prosecution and attacked the credibility of star witness Michael Cohen. In a speech, Trump promised to continue his fight, framing the November 5th election as the real verdict where the American people will decide his fate. Trump's reaction portrayed his legal ordeals as politically motivated. This narrative has resonated with his base, comprising of family, supporters, and friends who see the legal proceedings as an extension of the alleged witch hunts that began during his presidency, from the Russia investigation to his two impeachments. Judge Yuan M. Merchan has set the sentencing for July 11, 2024, just days before the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, where Trump is expected to be formally nominated as the GOP candidate for the 2024 presidential election. This timing adds another layer of complexity and uncertainty to Trump's formal nomination by the Republican Party. The felony charges carry up to 4 years in prison, but it remains uncertain whether prosecutors will seek imprisonment. Regardless of the outcome, the conviction does not legally bar Trump from continuing his White House bid. However, the political ramifications are significant. Voters are now faced with the prospect of supporting a candidate who has been convicted of felony crimes, a situation unprecedented in American electoral history. It has never happened before. The New York case is just one of several legal challenges facing Trump. He is also under indictment in 3 other cases involving allegations of attempting to overturn the 2020 election results and mishandling national security secrets. While the New York case has concluded swiftly, the other cases may not reach a verdict before the November election, making this conviction particularly consequential. The crux of the New York case revolves around the payment made to Stormy Daniels and how it was accounted for in Trump's business records. The prosecution argued that $130,000 payment was falsely recorded as legal expenses, constituting an unlawful attempt to mask its true purpose. Cohen, who has already pleaded guilty to related charges and served time in prison, provided key testimony against Trump, describing in detail the scheme to silence Daniels and protect Trump's candidacy. Trump's defense team countered, saying that the payments were legitimate legal expenses and that Trump was the target of extortion attempts. They also sought to discredit Cohen, suggesting that his testimony was motivated by personal animosity and the desire for fame and money. Republicans by and large have remained steadfast in their support for Trump. House Speaker Mike Johnson called the conviction a shameful day in American history, describing the case as a political exercise rather than a legal one. Conversely, Democrats and critics of Trump view the conviction as a validation of the legal process and a necessary step in holding the former president accountable. President Joe Biden and his administration have remained relatively muted, emphasizing respect for the rule of law while avoiding overt political attacks. Despite the legal setbacks, Trump's political machinery remains active and resilient. Following the verdict, his campaign launched a fundraising blitz, raising nearly $35 million in less than 7 hours. This response not only highlights the loyalty of Trump's base, but also their financial commitment to his cause. Trump's campaign is framing him as a political prisoner, using the conviction to galvanize support and reinforce his narrative of victimization. This strategy aims to rally his base and attract new supporters who view the legal actions against him as unjust persecution. The Trump case invites comparisons to other high-profile political scandals involving hush money and allegations of sexual misconduct. One notable example is the prosecution of John Edwards, a former Democratic senator who was indicted in 2011 for using campaign funds to conceal an extramarital affair. Edwards' defense argued that the funds were personal gifts, not campaign contributions, and he was ultimately acquitted on one count, with a mistrial declared on the remaining charges. Another comparison is with former President Bill Clinton, who faced allegations of sexual misconduct and a settlement with Paula Jones. However, unlike Trump's case, Clinton's legal troubles did not result in criminal charges, but rather civil litigation and impeachment proceedings. As Trump awaits sentencing, the legal battles are far from over. His legal team has announced plans to appeal the verdict, citing concerns about the fairness of the trial and the judge's refusal to recuse himself. This appeal process could extend the legal drama well into the election season, keeping the case in the public eye. Donald Trump's conviction has surprisingly galvanized support for his 2024 election bid. This is not the first time Trump has faced setbacks, both legally and from his political enemies. His supporters see the conviction by the jury as a chance to make a statement that they are solidly behind him in the 2024 elections. In the end, this case may serve as a litmus test for the resilience of democratic institutions and the rule of law in the face of unprecedented political challenges. Whether viewed as a justified legal reckoning or a politically motivated witch hunt, the conviction of Donald Trump will undoubtedly shape the narrative of the 2024 presidential election and beyond. Thank you for joining us today. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you later.